The following Defending Our America episode is presented without commercial interruption by Sig Sauer.
It starts in the home when you start with the American leadership, and that's the only way we're going to be able to take our country back and change it for the better, is by parents stepping up and raising certain, ethics in their children and accountability in their children and what's right and wrong and how you should live your life and how you should be as a person.
Did we make mistakes as kids growing up, mischief, whatever, that, obviously everybody does. But you know what? We were held accountable for those mistakes as well. If we got caught, there was punishment involved. And it didn't have to be, physical, corporal punishment or something like that. But, when your parents caught you, you were punished. You were held accountable for your actions, and you learned something from it. And that is something that is lacking nowadays.
Our generation we're in the battle right now. So it's our battle, and we're going to hand it off to our children. So if we don't train our children up to fight this battle, then we're going to lose the country. And that's why the values are so important right now.
You have Hillary Clinton passing the buck. It's not my fault, blah, 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 blah. It was the movie guy, and they pass the buck so much. And kids are doing it in schools, and parents are allowing their kids to do that because, it's not my child's fault, he's picked on, or he's not understood, or something like that.
But as a parent, you have a responsibility, I believe, and this is where people have passed off their responsibility. The truth will always make itself known, always. You can always tell as a parent when your kid's lying. There is a price for telling the truth. Is that hard to constantly expect of all people to tell the truth? Because what's become more and more accepted are the little white lies. If it's a half lie and not a whole lie, we're gonna take this one word, and in our mind, it means something different than what you think it does. I have had enough of that.
It's just really simple. Don't lie to me. Tell me what you did wrong, and we'll work it out. My kids will come into the house and they'll give me their cell phone. I'm like, what class did you get an F in? Because we make them write a contract out. We already know what the repercussions are going to be immediately. You do X, we do Y. You slam the door, we remove a door. We know the outcome of our actions.
I stopped this kid, 95 miles an hour he was doing.
Oh my God.
Out on an open road. He's shaking, and it's a nice souped up car. I said, do you know why I stopped you? And he goes, yeah. And he's still kind of shaking, holding onto the steering wheel. And I said, how fast were you going? He says, probably 94, 95. I said, oh my God. And he goes, what? And I said, you were doing 95. So I asked him, why would you be going 95? Well, I wanted to just kind of test it out. Got a new truck, wanted to open it up and see what it had. I said, okay, I'm a human being, so I can relate. I was a young kid once. And I said, you're like the first most honest speeder I've ever stopped. I said, you admitted to exactly what you were doing. And he goes, well, why would I lie? And I said, that's a long story.
Why wouldn't you lie?
And I'm glad you don't understand
short, I told the kid, I said, if I ever stop you again, I'll give you every ticket you have coming. Do you understand that? Yes, I do. But because you were honest with me from the get-go, no ticket, you're free to go, drive safe.
That's so sad that it's so unique to see a kid be so honest.
Right.
It should be
Yeah, but then it struck you in such a way
Oh, it
that,
did, because you absolutely don't see honesty in our job. It's pure deception all the time. That's why every time we show up somewhere, you're gonna get story one, story two, somewhere in between is the truth, and you always have to filter through all the BS to get to where the truth is. Yeah.
I actually got stopped by a cop once for speeding. Again, I was running from one kid to another, and I pulled down my window, and he goes, do you know what you did? I go, absolutely. He goes, what did you do? I was like, I was speeding. He goes, you admitted what you did? I said, I have my two daughters sitting in the back seat. How can I not come and tell you the truth? I lead by example. I was speeding, so I should get my fine, and I should, pay for what I did. He goes, I'm just not gonna show up to court. He goes, I've never had this experience before. And I said, that's pretty sad. If I teach my daughters to be honest and truthful no matter how painful it is, how can I turn around and look at you in the face and say, I don't know why you stopped me, because I'm cute?
I remember growing up, I respected police officers. you know. When they caught me speeding or something like that, well, okay, fine. I was mad at them because they wrote me a ticket. But you know what? I sure as heck didn't cop an attitude with them.
When I grew up, if I got in trouble at the neighbor's house, I wasn't worried about the neighbor. I was worried about my parents whooping my butt because I got in trouble at the neighbor's. How dare I do something like that at somebody else's house, let alone my own house? Well, nowadays, if kids get in trouble at a neighbor's house and the neighbor comes over and says, hey, your kid did, not my kid would never do that, and why are you touching my kid, and why are you even here on my property, and I'll sue you, and I'll arrest you, all this crap, instead of saying, you know what, thank you for being a concerned community member, because it takes a community, and they just don't get it. And so that's what has been lost in our country is the community and the whole village concept, that we all are responsible for this and that we all play a part in this. And that's the only way our country is going to hold together, because if we don't, then it's always somebody else's fault and nobody stands up for anything, and we fall down. And that's when tyranny has the chance to walk right in.